The Prime Initiative.
So the radio show hosted by Miss Jeffy finally aired pertaining to Trevor Kirk on YouTube. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the first few minutes of it. We're not going to obviously watch the whole thing. You know, if you guys want to see the whole thing, I'll put the link on the bottom. It has a lot of information that's extremely useful and that is much, much needed to be out there. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at it here real quick. And like I said, I'll put all the links on the bottom. I just finished watching this morning, and yeah, as always, it's pretty spot on. So let's just take a look at the first 5 minutes. We'll go from there.
Jeffi Gergenti and her high-profile guests will be discussing their life experiences and reflect on how their decisions and their work impact our community, from community leaders to everyday people just like you. So sit back, relax, and get ready for you never know what you're going to hear on Jeffi Said What? And now your host, Jeffi Gergenti.
Hey, we are live. It's Saturday night. We've got Dawn Monroe in the house, but we have two very special guests. We have Nick Wilson of the Resiliency Project, and you were previously an LAPD sheriff. What were you?
I worked for La Habra PD in Orange County.
Okay.
So the majority of you guys already know Mr. Wilson. He's been fighting for law enforcement in the entire country for some time, but predominantly so in Southern California. And today he's speaking up against the tyrannical BS that's happening as always, in Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department under Sheriff Luna.
And you started the Resiliency Project for helping officers. What was the...
Well, it's peer support, and the entire mission is to prevent suicide.
Okay.
Because more officers die by their own hands than in the line of duty.
Right.
So we
And that is what Mr. Wilson said. That is a fact. It's not an opinion. It's not a hunch. It's a proven fact. In fact, there was over 10 suicides last year. Over in one agency. It's a real thing. No one likes to talk about it. I mean, it's a horrible situation, right? But there's people out there like Mr. Wilson that speak up pertaining to that.
raise money to get them into treatment or whatever they need.
Let's start the program with how do people send you money? Because after they hear what they're about to hear, you're going to want those people giving donations. And listeners, you need to donate to this cause because what you're about to hear tonight is going to scare you. So how do people donate? And we're going to ask throughout the program.
Thank you. They can go to theresiliencyproject.info and they can just donate through the website. And they can also find us at _resiliency project on Instagram, which drives them to the website as well.
Okay, great. And then our next guest is Alex Villanueva. We're always happy to have you, head cold and all.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it, Jeffy.
Yeah, oh gosh, we always love you. And if you haven't got...
Isn't that something? You know, like I said, I mean, I'm always going to talk highly of Villanueva. I know there's people that have their disdain, but I can seriously give a shit. You know, he was my sheriff, and all he did was help out the troops. And here he is again, like I said, with a cold and still handling business, you know.
The book, Sheriff...
Holding the thin blue line in a deep blue state.
Yes.
So his recent book, I made a video of it already, I believe. I'm going to go ahead and put the link pertaining to his book in the description below.
I've finished the book. It is remarkable. And, you know, let me tell you, for all the people that may have been an Alex Villanueva hater, which there are a few out there, read that book. It's going to give you a lot of insight into what media you chose to believe and what the truth really is. And for all those that love you, they need to read the book because there's so much insight into so many things about you that I didn't know about. You know, the history of how you grew up and, you know, you pretty much grew up in poverty and, you know, your whole family went to college. You all made something of yourselves. You had great parents and some of the wonderful things you did. And I think a lot of people don't realize you have a doctorate.
Well, it's just a story. I mean, you hear what the media says in the Times. You know, I'm this evil person roaming the countryside, you know, drinking baby's blood and all that.
Right.
But the reality is actually I've been living a very difficult upbringing, I guess, at times, you know, challenged in many ways. But,
right.
Yeah, my parents instrumental in all six of us setting us on the right path.
Yeah. So I brought that up because what we're going to talk about is a sheriff that has been horribly slighted. Dawn and I don't know a lot of the story. And I did that intentionally because I want you to tell the story that needs to be told that's not being shared on social media. It's not being shared in the news, and it's something that's gone federal, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know which one of you want to start.
Go ahead, Nick.
Okay. So we heard about this case because people reach out to us through our website when they need support.
Okay.
This is a case about Deputy Trevor Kirk, who was involved in a use of force incident when he was dispatched to a robbery in progress at the Winco Market in Lancaster.
And which deputy department is he with?
So he's with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department.
So he's under Luna.
He is. And so, hopefully soon we can talk about the backstory. But what happened was he responded to this robbery in progress, and he and his partner gets the description of the two suspects who had assaulted loss prevention inside the Winco Market.
Okay.
The call was never downgraded to a lesser offense. It was, deputies knew going into it that this was a felony in progress. So upon their arrival, the first person that they were able to detain was the male subject, and they did so without incident, even though the male was a little bit squirrely. The second was the female suspect who was standing behind Trevor Kirk and filming this incident as it was occurring. Deputy Trevor Kirk's partner points to the female suspect, indicating that's the second subject.
I got to interrupt here for a sec. Isn't that something? I can't stand that when criminals get caught. One of the first things they do is they pull out their cell phone and start recording, right? As if that's a fucking get out of jail free card, right? Like, oh, I'm a victim now because I have my phone out, and now you're going to be scared because you're recorded. But the one thing that people don't understand is that the majority of law enforcement officers out there, first responders, cops, right, police, sheriff deputies, highway patrol, you name it, have body cams. They're continuously recording. It's not about being afraid of being on video. Make that clear.
Trevor Kirk goes to attempt to detain her. She takes a swipe at him.
With something in her hand, nothing in her hand?
She had a cell phone in her hand.
Okay.
But she essentially, and you can see it in the body-worn camera, swings at him, immediately starts backing up, and then tells him, it's essentially, you can't touch me. No, you can't touch me. Immediately resisting arrest.
Okay, so that's the gist of what transpired prior to the actual incident, right? I encourage you guys to check out this entire episode. It's 50 minutes long. It's not that long, okay? Check it out. You're going to get informed as to what exactly transpired in that situation and what's going to transpire now going forward. This is a giant political game. Sheriff Robert E. Luna threw Trevor Kirk under the bus. And this is the time when not only his partners need to come together, but the civilians, the public need to come together as well. Extremely important, because this is something that could leave a long-lasting tyrannical issue in Los Angeles County, more so than what it already is, right? Again, I'm gonna stop it here. I'm not gonna steal Jeffy's fire. Need you guys to go ahead and check out the link. I'll leave all the information down below. Get informed. Let's get this done.
The Prime Initiative.